Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how does sleep apnea and snoring actually begin to affect your health. Well, if you think about it, the whole problem you're having is oxygen is not going into your body, and that's what your body needs. So at night, when your body is trying to rest, when your muscles are trying to recoup themselves, they're not getting the oxygen that they need to rebuild themselves. The other problem you got is your brain is going to start to sense that there's just simply not enough oxygen coming in. So your heart has to compensate for that. Your heart is just a pump. If there's not enough air coming in, getting into your blood, your heart is going to start pumping faster and faster and faster. Well, the problem is at night, your heart is supposed to be resting. It's supposed to be slowing down. Instead, your heart is speeding up. It's trying to get more oxygen in, and it simply can't get it. The other problem that's happening is the rest of your body is starting to affect that. You see, as it breaks down, your body starts to lose its control to reboot itself. Your hormones start to change, your blood pressure starts to change, the cholesterol in your body, everything starts to deteriorate. So the problem is then your body starts breaking down and you start putting on weight. Well, when you start putting on weight, imagine if you're 50 pounds overweight. You're trying to sleep with your muscles that are already starved for oxygen. You had a hard day's work. You're putting up your deer stands, making your food plots. You're already exhausted. Now when you're trying to rest, it's like trying to rest with a 50-pound weight on your chest. And in addition to that, your heart is racing all night. You just can't do that for very long. So all of a sudden you get into your 50s and your 60s and you start having your first heart problems. You have your first heart attack. You have your first development of diabetes. Everything starts to begin itself. Well, it didn't start in your 50s. It started when you were in your 20s when all you did was snore, but it was kind of a joke at the camp. Well, the problem is after 20, 30 years of that, it's not a joke anymore. Now it's greatly starting to affect your health. In addition to this, not only does it affect your health, it affects your sleeping. When we sleep, we go through 4 different stages. You go through stage 1, 2, 3, and then REM sleep. In stage 1, you are asleep, but very light. If I was to say your name or somebody laughs out loud, you'll wake up. Stage 2 is you're going into deep sleep. You're not there yet, but your heart rate should be slowing down. Your blood pressure should be lowering. Your body should be starting to relax very deeply. Stage 3 is deep sleep. This is the one you need. This is the one where the body reboots itself. Essentially, the body gets all out of whack during the day. You don't eat right, you push yourself too hard, you work your muscles too hard, and the brain says that's okay. When you get to stage 3 sleep, we'll reboot ourselves just like a computer. So think of stage 3 as the physical stage. Next is REM sleep. That's the mental stage. That's where you develop your memories. That's where you put things into perspective. If you've ever had a day where you just blew up at your hunting buddy or your employees or your coworkers, and then you thought about it and said, you know what, why did I get so angry? Or you're just having problems with depression, anxiety, it's not you. You're not going through REM sleep. So what happens is you should go through stage 1, 2, 3, REM, and then repeat them all night long. 1, 2, 3, REM, and repeat. But what happens is you're in stage 1, you're in stage 2, and now you start snoring. And now you start having some apnea events, and the brain learns, wait a minute, he's not getting enough air in. If I wake him up, he'll take a deep breath, and then he'll go back to sleep. The problem is you don't start back at stage 2. So it's 1, 2, you start to snore, you gas a little bit, and then you wake up, and then you go right back to sleep. But you went back to 1. So it's 1, 2, wake up, 1, 2, wake up. So you don't go through stage 3 like you should. So you wake up tired, you wake up exhausted. You may have been in bed for 10 hours, but it feels like you've only slept 30 minutes. That's the other problem with sleep apnea. If you have a problem falling asleep during the day, even worse, falling asleep behind the wheel, or how many times do we hear about guys falling asleep in their deer stand? And you know those bad things can happen when they fall out of it. It may simply be they're not getting their stage 3 at night. The snoring has turned into apnea, and now they're not getting their sleep stages right. That's the problem with it, and you don't know that's occurring.